Hello everybody, this is Quiversee, and welcome back to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So first I need to apologize, I completely lost the audio data for this episode, so this is all done in post. So, yeah, this is going to be a little bit different.
I've been waiting for you, Miriam.
Thankfully we have a little bit of dialogue here.
The Shardbinders should be struck from existence. Is that it?
Correct. But I am here to test you, not end you.
I just noticed how weird his face
I have no
looks.
quarrel with you, Zangetsu.
Perhaps not. But carnage is the language I speak. If we are to come to an understanding, this is how we do it. Now, fight as if your life depended on it.
Yeah, I really can't help. I must have been mulling this over before, too. I really have to wonder how they have those weird gaps. It's not even a typo. But, yeah. This is basically just another fight with Zangetsu, which you'll see gets kind of interesting later. And yeah, he's basically not holding back here. You know, all those crazy moves he pulled off on the train. He's doing that and then some. I'm also going to use this opportunity to apologize for something I don't think I addressed properly later. And that is the endless Tisrozayan, Tisrozayan, Tisrozayan coming out of Miriam. Honestly, I know I say this very much later. That move is completely busted. It is way overpowered for how much mana it costs. Like, the reason I keep going in and just using it in blasts like that is because how earlier I kind of mentioned that enemies get a whole lot of invincibility frames from it. So there's no point in holding it out unless you're trying to aim at something. As soon as you get your target, you just stop. But of course, she has to yell it out every time. Also, just because Zangetsu did switch to his Ice Blade here. Honestly, now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't really do anything different than the Fire Blade. Aside from the Ice Trail attack. But it's mostly just a cosmetic change. Though I do kind of like how his kunai becomes an icicle. If anything, he became less dangerous. I don't know why I waited so long to grab food there. Zangetsu's probably going to switch over to his next form soon. Yeah, he's got one more form on him. I thought he did. I must have missed one.
How do you expect me to fight as if my life depends on it when you are clearly not?
You could tell.
No, I really couldn't, though.
With your skill, you could have destroyed me in a heartbeat.
I have a gift for you.
Yep. I have no idea what I was saying there. But yes, the Zangetsuto. Straight from Zangetsu.
What are you doing?
My sword. The Zangetsuto. I came to England in pursuit of a demon named Gremory.
If you recall, Gremory was met at the very beginning on the boat with Gebel.
Only by that blade may she be cut down.
Gremory? That's the demon that attends Gebel. But why give the sword to me?
I've tried making contact with Gremory, but I have yet to cross paths with her even once.
You think she's avoiding you?
She must be. And surely you have noticed.
I mean, I don't... Now that he's mentioned it, no, I don't really think I noticed because of how infrequently we see Zangetsu. It's kind of a weird way to put it, now that I'm looking back at this.
That man you're after, Gebel. Gremory is controlling him.
Oh, right.
But her hold on him is not absolute. Perhaps you have seen signs. A moment of weakness. a diminishing of his resolve?
Sure have.
Yes. When I faced him on the galleon.
Good. That means your ties to Gebel are still stronger than Gremory's, and she knows it. Which means she will not allow Gebel to be alone with you. When she appears, use that blade and cut her down.
I'm pretty sure at this point is when I started talking about my realization.
Wait. Why not come with me and do it yourself?
Maybe not.
Because if she fears me more than she fears relinquishing Gebel, then we risk losing her. I will have my vengeance on her. Even if it means parting with the sword. And there is something else I need to clear up while you deal with Gremory.
All right. I will finish what you started.
What I started. I am certain you will.
Indeed. But yeah, somewhere in there I was when I had a bit of an epiphany about the moon in Gebel's fight. And, yeah, Zangetsu, or Moon Sunderer. That just makes it a dead giveaway. You know, it is pretty clever, but I don't know, I feel like that they may have been a little heavy-handed with it. Good news is the Zangetsu is a good sword in and of itself, and has full access to all of the katana techniques. But yeah, getting the Zangetsu is the main reason to go to the Oriental Sorcery Lab. I actually don't recall what it is that I did next here. I haven't had to do this, so I'm basically just kind of watching back and re-recording it as I watch. I do like how the blood splatter on the closing screen doors.
Bloodsteel!
But for some reason you can't do Bloodsteel on it. And for some reason I feel the need to try multiple times.
Bloodsteel!
Third time for good measure, right? Third time's a charm, however that goes. Do I go up here? Yes, I do. I think in here is just a treasure of some sort. Let's see, if I remember right, it's a recipe. Oh yeah, I discovered a new technique just there. It's essentially the same as the parry, but for the katana, and it works a little bit differently. I didn't think I'd already done that much technique grinding by this point. Sorry if I don't really have much to say. I'm a little uncomfortable doing it this way, but I don't want to just skip an episode, you know? Alright, time to see if I was right. If I ever want to push up. Oh no, it's the Ofuda Talisman! I remember that item. It's kind of nice. Gonna put it on. Okay, I think I must have been waiting for the item there. Now we're gonna look at the talisman. So it's a pretty good piece of armor, even though I'm in the completely wrong menu. I think I thought it was some kind of recipe or something. And I don't try it yet. Okay. I know I do later, because it's actually pretty good. Yeah, there's only 2 rooms left in here. And the one up there that the cursor was just over on the left-hand side, that one, if I remember right, is pretty significant. Truth be told, when I'm doing this, it is several weeks. Like, I'm actually recording this audio the day that I intend to put this episode up. Just for reference's sake. So, if you look at the upload date, you'll look at when I actually put this up. As opposed to when my last save was, which was back in June. It now being August. So, I don't remember too much. I went a little farther in advance than I wanted to here. Ah, yes, the Tornado Slicer shard. Where is it? Yeah, it's another pretty cool shard, but ultimately it's not as good as Tisra's Iron. Although, now that I'm looking at it, I notice it does appear to give them fewer, invulnerability frames at the cost of the range. It really is a shame, though, because Tisrazion is such a powerful move. Why do they have to have her shout it every single time you cast it? Like, come on. Oh, I remember what's in here. I'm gonna die. Because this guy is deceptively strong. As you can tell. Walking into him does over 100 damage. And that's to speak nothing of the giant saw blades or the knives he throws at your face. The Carpenter is actually one of 4... It's 4, right? No, 5. One of 5 super bosses. Or optional bosses, I guess you should say. The 8-bit Overlord was actually one of them. And... yeah. He's gonna murder us here in case it's not obvious. Yep, there we go. Whew. Alright, so I decided to just skip ahead here. Basically, after getting my butt utterly handed to me by the Carpenter, decided to go over to this side here, because there is an area transfer door that did not get accessed before. And you can probably see exactly where that's going to go, straight into the cathedral on the upper floor that I wasn't able to get to before. In fact, there's something I thought I had originally done in the last part that I'm probably going to do in this one. But first I gotta wait until I destroy that stupid witch thingy. In fact, you can kind of see it. If you look in the bell when I jumped up there. Oh, yeah, the backsteel for the bandit blade. That weapon, that effect, honestly, it sucks. I try it out later, and it sucks. If you have a bandit blade, don't waste your time with it. But you can look in the bell, there's something hiding up inside of it. Looks like a mana recovery. And there's a good way to get it. I will actually go and do it, instead of picking up hair magazines. Why would a box you can only get to that late in the game even have a potion? That's honestly really stupid. Alright, stop screwing around. Do it. Yes! Inside the bell! I honestly thought that I was going to do that in the last one, because I remember doing it, but I didn't remember when. I don't know, I think it's kind of neat that you can go inside the bells like that. Even if it doesn't really do anything unless there's an item hiding in there. But yeah, at this point I'm just kind of looking at the map, figuring out where I want to go next, so... Oh yeah, I forgot to get that item, that Ofuda talisman that I had before, so... I think I go back to get that before moving on, so... I'm gonna go on ahead and skip ahead to the next new thing. Because there's plenty that happens here, let me tell you. Quick pit stop in town because I was getting the high jump shard. And let me just say, this is the best shard in the game. You'll see why soon enough. But also...
Zangetsu said Gebel is being controlled by a demon named Gremory.
Gremory? Of the 72 demons?
I wonder why there's 72.
I knew Gebel wasn't a monster. He's possessed by one.
Then there's a good chance we can free him.
I'll do whatever it takes.
So will I. But Gremory... Oh, this explains so much. Gebel could never have accomplished something this heinous with his crystal alone. Now adding Gremory's power to his, well, that pushes it into the realm of possibility. Oh, I'm sorry. Once I start theorizing, I can't be stopped.
You know, I kind of wish that they delved a little more into Johannes' character. Yeah, there's the high jump. And...
Are you...
Oh,
so, what'll it be?
Talking... Oh, wait. I thought I was talking to him by accident there. It turns out I was just upgrading some items. But now we return to Gebel.
What took you so long? Well, now that you've tasted the power of so many shards, I presume you're ready to join me.
You presume wrongly. I'm here to keep my promise to you, and nothing else.
What promise?
You really have forgotten then? I swore to you that I would stop you if your Shardbinder power ever manifested itself against your will. You made the same oath to me.
Please! You think I wield this power unwillingly?
I do. I've known it since our meeting on the galleon. But there was a moment when I saw a flicker of the real Gebel beneath all that hate.
Fool! I've had enough! If you want to stop me, you'll have to do it by force.
As you wish. It's time to free you of this once and for all.
Next time, obey.
Sorry about having to show that again. I was trying to see if the dialogue changed after getting Gremory, or after learning about Gremory, but nope. Anyways, you can see the moon does nothing. Cutting it does nothing. But that's because it's not Gremory yet. It's only Gremory when it's red. So, gotta beat Gebel down to trigger it. It's funny how, of all the things in the game, Quiversee is the only thing that interacts with the moon besides the Zangetsu, as can be seen.
At last, the Liber Logaia is mine!
And in comes Alfred to swipe the book!
Miriam, I've missed you.
I knew you were in there. I knew it.
You kept your promise. Thank you.
Take a good look at Gebel.
What's going on? No, the corruption shouldn't spread this fast.
It's better this way. The world can be rid of me. But this castle, we can't allow it to.
Shh, I know. I'll destroy it. But you're going to live, Gebel.
I'm glad. Good to see you smile. One last.
Gebel! Gebel!
After all that.
It shouldn't have come to this, my friend.
Are you ready, Johannes?
I am if you are.
Yes. I have a new promise to keep.
If you plan to destroy the castle, you won't be able to do it without the Liber Logaia.
Then I need to track down Alfred.
Gremory will be after him too. Tracking Gremory might be faster.
The moon, you mean? I'll try it.
You know, it's making me wonder now, because at this point is when I'm realizing that that one room in the Garden of Silence, where you see the red moon at the beginning, is where you need to go, because that's the only other place in the game that you've seen it. I'm starting to wonder if that was even intentional. Like, in one way I feel like it has to be, because how else are you supposed to know to go to that one particular room? But on the other hand, why would Gremory have been there if Gremory is supposed to be essentially supervising Gebel, you know, in order to keep him under control? It's a little bit weird now I stop to think about it. And, you know, even then, why that room? Not to mention the fact that it just kind of disappeared from there out of the blue. I don't know, it seems almost like it was a rushed decision to me. It's kind of a shame, too, because as much as I do enjoy this game, I feel it definitely falls a bit short in some of the storytelling aspects. Not the story itself, but with how it flows, how it presents itself. I feel like it could have been done a little bit better. But at that point, it's almost nitpicking. Okay, here's where I learned the true power of... Nope, it's not. I thought that was where I was going to really learn how to use high jump properly, because that's not how you're supposed to do it. But there's big old Gremory.
Curse you.
And into the portal we go. A den of behemoths. I think this is my favorite area in the entire game for a number of reasons.
Invert!
So, for how much I feel it starts to wane a bit near the end, the Den of Behemoths is a fantastic place, as you will soon see. I think at this point I'm just mapping out. And in case it isn't obvious, this place is basically the same area we were just in, only super huge. At least in terms of layout. Further reinforced by giant demons! Giant toads! Giant rocks holding giant plants! And of course, giant treasure. With only 500 gold. Because why not? Gambler's Ring. That increases damage based on money held? Or am I thinking of something else? Nope, just increases luck and pluck. If only pluck was a stat, then that'd be a fantastic ring. But alas, it doesn't. Don't know why I'm mulling this over so much. Let's see. Yeah, unfortunately for the time being, traversing this place is a little annoying. So the best way to do so is using the dang lance charge there. But we actually get a much better way to traverse soon. Ah, but first, Alfred is weakened.
Alfred!
The book.
That man has a problem.
The Liber Logaeth? What about it?
She stole it.
I brought your apprentice like you... What happened here?
Master, who did this to you?
I have no idea what I would have been talking about at this point. I am so sorry. Maybe I must have been... I don't know.
Thank you, Zangetsu. Johannes, I must beg a boon of you.
What? All right.
Miriam, we need to talk.
Yes. I thought Alfred was our enemy.
He certainly was acting like one before now, wasn't he?
Dominique seemed so keen on pitting me against the old alchemist that I decided to have a word with him after you and I fought.
The first time or the second time? I don't think I ever asked that question. Probably the second time.
And unfortunately, he confirmed my suspicion.
Which is?
Dominique has been manipulating us this whole time. I'm not certain why.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait, what?
If she had wanted to deal with this mess in an expedient manner, she would have sent you and me to deal with Gebel together.
He's not wrong.
But instead, she divided our strength and insisted I chase after Alfred. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, thought just occurred to me, but I'll wait until they're done their
Alfred was
conversation.
never trying to get in our way.
I'm not sure about you, but he got in my way.
Oh boy, did he.
You misunderstand. All he wanted was to keep you as far away from the castle as possible.
And to take the book. But why?
Why?
Because you were the most attuned.
Attuned to what?
Of all the humans transplanted with Crystal, you had the greatest ability to wield the demon's power.
What would I have been saying at this point?
Alfred feared you would be used.
Then why didn't he say so?
Would you have believed him? Dominique had already won over you and Johannes both. And even if you had been inclined to listen, he knew you too well to think that you would back down.
I suppose I wouldn't have. What do you think Dominique is plotting?
As I said, I know not. We will just have to find her. And ask her.
I just realized how sinister he sounded when saying, ask her. Like, he knows what he means. And what he means is business.
Miriam, the Master wants to talk to you.
Miriam, forgive me for dragging you into all this. I am responsible for all your misfortunes. I hope you can find it in your heart to...
Alfred?
He must have known he would not leave here alive. We can grieve later. Right now, we need to put an end to all this, or his death will mean nothing.
You're right.
Johannes, he explained everything to you.
Yes, I know what I need to do.
Then let us begin. First, Gremory. She can't be far. But her mastery of subspace allows her to move about freely.
In other words, she's likely to slip away again.
I have a way of stopping her from leaving. She knows I have given up the Zangetsu, and will spring at me then, believing me powerless. That is when you strike. I will go on ahead. Join me as soon as you think you are ready.
It just dawned on me how dumb that kind of
I can't
sounds.
do much of anything until you get back the Liber Logaeth. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. But for now, this is in your hands, Miriam. Be safe.
I will, Johannes.
I'll be in the village if you need me.
So what I meant by that seems kind of dumb is, like, you just outright say, oh, because I don't have the sword and she knows it, then I'm going to be attacked. And yeah, this is what I mean about the high jump. That's when I figured it out. You can spam it in midair all you want, and it allows you to travel so much better. It's also stupid fun. But what I was also kind of thinking about, what I kind of realized watching that scene again, despite the flack I literally just gave the game about its storytelling, about how it kind of falls a little flat, I gotta admit, they handled Dominique really well. Like, I was convinced up until a little before that point that she was 100% our ally. It wasn't until the scene where she outright says, oh, you weren't supposed to see that I started to question things. And that felt like the right time to ask that sort of question. And if you think back to way earlier when Zangetsu was trying to talk to her and Miriam was would come in the room and he'd run away. If you think about it, Dominique was probably setting that up just as much as Zangetsu just didn't want to be around a Shardbinder. Because if she wanted us to be separate, you know, we don't know what she was saying to her. It's entirely possible that she was feeding into his prejudice, which I think is pretty clever. Not to mention, how frustrated she got when she found out that Zangetsu... I forget if it was that he was going to the desert when he wasn't supposed to, or he wasn't going to the desert when he was supposed to. Either or, she was really upset by that. And now you can kind of see why. But yeah, the Den of Behemoths. It is all about giant everything. At this point, it kind of stops resembling the Garden of Silence in terms of its layout. But it doesn't matter. It's still an awesome area. Even if the enemies are, for the most part, pretty weak. At least the giant enemies. There's actually a few enemies here that aren't giants. Wait. I might need to play that back myself, because I think that there was a breaking wall there. And I don't remember if I ever got it. And if it was, I sure as heck missed it. I don't even know at this point. Well, unfortunately, there's one really, really cool thing that you get here, and I don't think it's in this part that I get it. But yeah, look at that right there. So much more efficient using the high jump than the invert. Honestly, once you get high jump, invert is all but completely obsolete. About the only reason you would ever need to use it is if you had to use, like, reflector ray or something on the ceiling. And there's a couple instances where that does come up. But even then, it's like... The pacing of this is a little bit weird, because if you think about it, we got in... Oh no, this is it! This is it! Race the Ninja! I really love this. It's so random and stupid. Oh, but it's so fun. And with the Lance Charge, it's actually really easy. Honestly, I don't know if I would have... I don't know if you can win this without the Lance Charge. Maybe. But I wouldn't have there if it wasn't for the Lance Charge, that's for sure. And your prize is probably the best manipulator shard in the game, the Accelerator. With this and high jump, you have access to the world. I'm not even gonna put it on yet, am I? No, but I'm gonna put on the Aegis plate. That would have also made the thing pretty trivial. All these spikes. Yeah, it's kind of funny that they set you up to use Reflector Ray, but in reality, I think that would end up just costing you time. Then again, time does stop when you fire it, so maybe not. I'll also just say right now that it's, for the next few episodes, you're going to be hearing a lot of that tis, 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 Rosian. I wish I had thought about it, like, sooner. But if I'm being honest, I probably would have died, like, many more times than I do if it wasn't for that one spell. It's kind of funny, just, it drains mana so fast, but if you only shoot it for a tenth of a second, you only lose, like, 2 mana. And it still deals the full damage. I feel like that ability is probably going to get nerfed or rebalanced, and honestly, that'd be one of the few times where I would be more than happy to see something like that happen in an entirely single-player experience. It's kind of fun, but it does wear itself thin pretty quick, and renders every other ability trivial. Like, there's so many shards in this game, so many powers, and so few of them are actually usable. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to go through this game using only Summon Bat. But as soon as you get Tis Rosian, you don't need any other offensive shards. Period. I remember this room. This is the one that has some of the actual enemies, not just the giant versions of weaker ones. Oh, I forgot about this shard. This one's pretty cool, actually. It's not as good as Accelerator, though. But, yeah. Yeah, it's basically just walking claw swipes. A shame it's not more powerful than it is. And yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Look how much mana that drained. It was draining mana about as fast as Tisrozion, attacks half as fast, is very close range, and requires you to be right at him. That is exactly what being really close range means. That's not what I meant. It attacks slower and closer for the same mana cost for less damage. There's no reason in the world to use it. And now here I am using that old method of jump kicks instead of using the accelerator card I just got. And there's the Millionaire's Key! A fantastic item. Why am I not using Accelerator here? But yeah, this is kind of why I like the Den of Beasts. So many big open rooms that you can just zoom in. Oh yeah, and there's our friend the Abyssal Guardian. I forget if we get his shard this time or not. But yeah, he's kind of a joke. With the exception of when he does that. That attack is pretty nasty. But if he doesn't do that, that's like the only attack he has that can hurt you when you're standing at his feet. And yeah, every time you see one of those rocks shake, that means that's gonna happen. Those things are actually pretty tough to deal with. It is possible to have them break it open without them hitting you. But it's not easy, and it's a little luck-based at times. Alright, I think I'm about to head back to the dragon. Maybe. There we go, there's Accelerator. Look at that, it barely even drains your mana, too. And it is so much of a speed boost. Easily the best manipulative shard in the game, even better than healing, which is honestly mostly because the healing shard kind of sucks. And yes! You can combine that with the high jump, and it's just endless flight. It is so fun and satisfying to pull off. It has the added benefit of doing chip damage to certain enemies. Honestly, if you pair that with the spike plate, you can kind of just charge through everything. Oh, and there's the Void Ray. Honestly, it is literally Dark Tisrozion. But it has a major advantage that is worth mentioning, in that she doesn't scream Tisrozion every time. She just goes, ha! Or something like that. But the problem is, it's a darkness spell, which means a lot less stuff is going to be susceptible to it than the Holy. And I'm pretty sure that's the reason I give for not using it, especially at this part of the game where we're fighting a lot of evil demons and stuff. I still kind of regret the choice of sticking with Forces Tisrozion, but, you know, too little too late and all that. Looks like we're about done in this room. At this point, I was basically just looking for a save couch, which there's one not too far, as you can probably guess by looking at the length. You have a flame spear. Use it. Don't shout Tisrozion past self. I do not know what I was thinking with that at the time. I guess it's not that big a deal when you're in the moment, but man. I wonder if there's a way to actually turn that off. There probably is. Yeah, I recognize this room. Just down from here should be where the save couch is, or down and to the right. Didn't even see a Tis, let alone the Rozion out of that one. Yeah. There really isn't much left to see in the Den of Behemoths. At least not in terms of standard enemies or treasures. At this point, it's pretty much just a transitionary area. But it's still pretty cool for what it is. Getting all these early game shards, too. Which is, again, it's a shame because these are all shards that it's like, oh, if you're using these shards from the early game, then you're getting them upgraded. What? Aside from maybe the flame cannon, they're not great. And like later on, I tried working with and upgrading a bunch of them, but none of them really do much. And don't even get me started on the giant morts. Just like the regular morts, they got nothing. It's really unfortunate. I forgot about the second Abyssal Guardian room. Oh yeah, they're also kind of jerks with that Void Ray. You can't even hide on the ceiling from them. Which I guess is another practical use of the invert. You know, it's not really useful for travel anymore, but it is useful for certain combat situations. In fact, now that I think about it, there's a couple of other battles where I end up using it to pretty good effect. Ah, yes, and of course, who can forget the giant bookshelf? Okay, yeah, this is the room. So to the right is the save couch. And to the left is stuff. HXD 1783. 2 months have passed. The church vanquished the demons, but too much human life had been lost. Once it was found we had a hand in the affair, my superiors were executed, and the guild left crippled. Alchemy's principle held. We sacrificed everything, and gained just as much misery. Only by some miracle was my life spared. K.A. 1784. Gebel did not die in the ritual. He is here. Flanked by demons, he delivers judgment to the alchemists. My own punishment has come, and it will be far worse than the others. To the shardbinders who died at my hands, forgive me. And to you, my dear friend Alfred, I should have listened. May God have mercy on me. Yeah, turns out these journals weren't written by Alfred like I had thought this entire freaking time. I thought for sure, the way they were written, that it was Alfred and that the apprentice was Johannes, but no. Turns out Alfred was the apprentice. And come to think of it, I don't think that this alchemist is ever named. The one that's talking in these journals. I don't think he's ever named it at any point in time. Now, earlier, or later. If he is, I completely missed it. I'll tell you that much. But, yeah, it's certainly interesting. Because, am I wrong in thinking that Alfred could have easily passed for that alchemist the entire way through? And that Johannes, with his kinder nature, could have passed for the apprentice? And it's like, yeah, Alfred was revealed to be a good guy. But he was pretty single-minded with his approach. And yet, don't mind the giant there over to the left. That's for later. When we return to live commentary, next time on Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Again, I do apologize about this episode being very different. I'm still trying to get used to doing commentary in general, don't get me wrong. But doing post-commentary especially felt a little awkward. Well, guess that's further incentive to not lose my data, huh? Either way, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.